What's up, guys? Mike from Buddhasport.com. I'm just going to be going over last night's UFC 133, the recap. Overall, I would say the up to normal standards that the card was weak, um, lacked star power, lacked any real exciting fights on paper, especially for in a month that has two pay-per-views in it. So considering you're going to be ordering two pay-per-views, that's what the UFC wants you to do. That's about $110 extra on your phone bill. So therefore, all that being said, it's kind of like they didn't really. They tried. Obviously, the card was just battered with injuries, but on paper the card looked terrible, and that was because of the injuries, obviously. And I think they did a pretty nice job after that, considering all the late switches and flip flops and all this stuff with the new fighters and new fights and a new main event and a new co-main event, and I think they did a nice job as far as that goes, but still don't think it was worth the $55. Nobody's fault really, just kind of the injuries, and they did a nice job getting a show together, a worthy show together, but it definitely wasn't worth the $55. But with that being said, the first fight of the night was Chad Mendes against Ronnie Yaya. Um, Pretty boring fight overall. Not very eventful. Pretty much just like the rest of the Chad Mendes fights. He finds his advantage and he does just enough to get the win. I necessarily don't have a problem with that, except for the fact that he never attempts to finish the fight at all. Never presses. Matter of fact, even after the fight ended, with the in-ring interview with Joe Rogan, he made a comment like, "I knew I could keep enough space in his guard, just enough space to get those short elbows." So pretty much, you just wanted to score points, which I guess is what it is. What it is. I don't necessarily like fighters like that. I like guys who try to finish, and you don't have to ever finish, but just try. Just try. Um, Another thing in that fight was they made a comment. The announcers, I don't know if it was Goldberg or Rogan, which I really like Joe a lot too. I like Joe Rogan. I'm a big Joe Rogan fan. I think it might have been him though. This is Uriah Faber 2.0. No, it's not. Please do not believe that, guys. This guy is not Uriah. Uriah is exciting. Uriah tries to finish. There's a big difference. Okay, now is Mendez more talented? Possibly. Is he more athletic? Possibly. Is he a better wrestler? Yes. Um, is he Uriah Faber 2.0? No, not at all. Not at all. Not in the fans' eyes. Not in anybody's eyes. It shouldn't be. This guy is not exciting, and he doesn't try to finish fights. So, with that being said, I hope Jose Aldo is gonna destroy this guy. So, I hope. I hope he comes with a better game plan than that, because laying on Jose Aldo and landing short elbows is not going to win you a title. It's going to get you knocked out or submitted. And now I'm looking forward to that fight because not a big Chad Mendes fan anymore. So the next fight on the card was Gustafsson against Matt Hamill. Um, I like Gustafsson a lot. I was real excited when I first saw him fight in the UFC. Cyril Diabet was his first fight that I saw. I knew this kid had a slew of potential, and really stuck out to me was his youth and his size, and that he outstruck a guy like Diabet in his first or second UFC fight, which was awesome. Then he ends up submitting him. I was real excited about this kid since then. So I knew coming into this fight that this was going to be his coming out party to a majority of the UFC fans. He looked really good. His takedown D looked awesome. His combinations looked awesome. He got that killer instinct that we all see now, that when he hurts people, he finishes them. He hurt Cyril. The fight went, instead of punching aside, choked him out. Same thing with James Tahuna. Matt Hamill finishes with the hands. Very well done. Hamill's got to get back to the drawing board. He needs a win in his next fight. I'd hate to see Matt get cut. So good luck to Matt Hamill. Always supporting you. Alexander Gustafsson, mad props. I think the Rich Franklin, if you were watching that fight, he's definitely worthy to fight you. Definitely worthy to fight you, and I think he'd knock you out. So that's just my opinion. So for Rich to say that Alexander's not on his level, that he's not taking that fight, if I'm Gustafsson, I'm angry with Rich Franklin right now. You know what I mean? And I think the UFC, that's a fight that they should set up and say, yeah, this kid is on your level. Yeah, yes, yeah, he absolutely is. So good luck in your next fight. And usually not like Rich to duck out on an opponent. Even if it was short notice, it would still have like 3 weeks. And if you're Rich Franklin, you're supposed to be a legend or whatever. You don't duck away from a fight like that. So I was a little disappointed there. So the next fight was the Mike Pyle Rory McDonald fight. Rory McDonald looked awesome. Absolutely awesome. He kid is a beast, no other really way to put it. He's super talented, super tough. He's no holes in his game. Joe Rogan pointed that out. That he's one of these new hybrid fighters. That he's a kid that comes up and he's not a wrestler. That's starting to learn how to box and kickbox and all that. He grew up as a mixed martial artist, learning every asset to the game. So dude, the sky's the limit for a kid like him. So that was really nice last night. Mike Pyle's a very good opponent. He's got nothing to be ashamed of. He came in to fight. He just got beat by a freakish kid, 22-year-old phenom. So with that being said, good luck to both fighters in the future. Rory McDonald's got to be approaching that top 10 mark, even though it is the welterweight division. I mean, that division is just stacked. Just stacked. So, the next fight on the card was, which in my opinion was the worst fight of the night. They hyped this fight up to Jorge Rivera and Constantine Philippou to be, these guys, there's not going to be any tape. They're going to bang it out. You always want to see one fight on the card like that, where it's just going to be a slugfest, and throw hands, and it's the Muay Thai fighter against the boxer. And, all this stuff, and then, comes out, and Philippou's shooting for takedowns. And I don't know. Then Joe Rogan screaming in the camera, the guy don't even know how to finish a shoulder lock, I don't know. I don't know how that fight was even on the main card. There was quite a few of those fights on the undercard that should have been in place of this. Even if Alessio Sakara was on the card, I still thought Nam Fan and Mike Brown was a better fight. Johnny Hendricks and Mike Pierce was a better fight. And Gustafsson and Matty Ushanko was definitely a better fight. But even if not, Gustafsson and Hamilton was still a better fight. So I didn't get why that fight was even on the main card, and I doubt that should be the last time we see either one of those guys. I mean, I like Rivera, but he never seems to show up in a big spot. That's just how I feel. He fights better on the undercard. All his wins come on the undercard. I can't remember one main card that he's fight card that he's won, besides the Nate Quarry fight on which was a fight night. And that's just my opinion there. But whatever. The next fight was Hallman and Ebersol. I was very excited to see this fight because two journeymen, with a million fights each, and they fought all over the world and. And then it turns into this. At one point, if you weren't a mixed martial arts fan, you see a guy with an arrow shaved in his chest against the guy wearing tighty whities on. And it's like, are these guys, is this a joke? You know what I mean? What was Hallman doing with those shorts? And I heard Dana White is really mad about that and aggravated. So I hope Hallman doesn't get cut over that because, that is something that Zuffa does. The fight wasn't really that bad, though. I mean, it comes out, Hallman takes him down, takes his back. Ebersol shows great submission defense, great composure. Why experience means a lot. Gets a reversal, gets on top, then he starts dropping bombs. And they were bombs, boy. Elbows, hammer fist. He's hammer fisting with the right, sneaks the left elbow. And he's this real crafty Ebersol, and I really like him. The two fights in the UFC that I've seen, anyway. So, looking forward to seeing his next fight. Who should he fight next? That would be, maybe, I don't know about McDonald and him, but That might be a fun fight to watch to see. But or you can go, both guys are right around the top 15, I'd say. Right below Ellenberger, right in that area. Maybe 12, 13, 14, somewhere in them both guys. They're right there, but I mean, welterweight stacked, and that's a tough division. So who knows? I can't wait to see a lot of exciting fights in that division. The next fight was the co-main event of the evening. I read something right before the card started that Akiyama had told Yushin Okami that he wasn't even able to train in Japan because the conditions were so bad. Chael Sonnen reported that, so I didn't know how true it was or if he was just trolling or whatever. But after watching that, I kind of believed it. He kind of came out. He's standing straight up. I heard a lot of complaints about the back of the head strikes by Vitor, but I didn't see it. I'd have to watch it again. But yeah, Akiyama looked terrible. With that being said, he's gonna probably be cut by Zuffa if he doesn't drop to welterweight. I know they've tried to get him to drop down to 170 on at least 2 occasions, and he just won't do it. So if you usually don't take Zuffa's advice and you're getting losses, you're usually gone. I hope that's not the case. I think this guy could still be a force at 170 pounds. Especially if that is true, that he didn't get to train. I feel real bad for him. I hate to see him lose his job over that. But yeah. Now next, the main event. Rashad looked great. Switch camps, looks awesome. Makes you wonder about the whole Greg Jackson thing, if that's true. I mean, Rashad looked like kind of scary good. His wrestling looked good. His boxing looked good. His chin looked better somehow. you know. Um, I mean, just really. I mean, props to Tito too. Tito looked good. How about that slam too by Rashad? That was awesome, huh? Um, he was actually putting Tito in a crucifix twice. I'm actually really looking forward to the Rashad Evans John Jones fight now. I really am. And I've never really been a big fan of Rashad Evans. Never. I always found him to be really boring. Actually, he's either dancing around and striking, and then the one strike while he's running around, or he was wrestling guys. And now he's in there. He's mixing it up with Tito, throwing bombs back and forth. They both did like at one point said screw it, and we're just hammering each other. Uh, Rashad's eating punches. Tito's eating punches. It was a good job. Good job by both guys. I enjoyed the main event. I thought it was the best fight of the night, most entertaining, and I think Rashad looked awesome. I mean, nothing really else to say. I can't wait to see him fight John Jones. Well, if John Jones can retain the title against Rampage, if he can stay away from but that's the fight I really want to see. I think Rashad is going to be he's too much for Rampage. If Rampage isn't taking it very, very seriously. So John Jones and Evans, it's going to be exciting. Not really sure who's going to win that one now. I was thinking John Jones had it in the bag. But we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching my video. Look for my future videos and follow me on Twitter, Buddha Sport MMA. Go to BuddhaSport.com.